right, man. Let's talk about Lions silently move Graham Glasgow to center. Um, said that it's just that the rapport between Graham Glasgow and Jared Goff is just better than Tate Ratledge, and shit, it should be. So for the most part, Lions offensive line is shuffled all up. You got Sewell on the right. I think you got Tate Ratledge at right guard, Graham Glasgow at center, and Mahogany at left guard. And it was talks about Graham Glasgow being happy back at right guard, before he moved to center. So let's talk about it. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and people may forget or whatever. That happened to Frank Ragnow. Remember Ragnow, like his first year, he started off at guard, and then he kicked the center. Yep, he kicked the center. So people forget that. He started off at guard, and then he kicked the center, I think, this next year. So they just going to ease Ratledge in there right now. And Graham got a lot of experience playing center, and obviously a lot of experience on this offensive line. But the thing about Ratledge is how big and strong he is at center, and that's what you want. Somebody stout at point of attack that's going to go up, against, the Dexter Lawrences of the world and the Leonard Williams of the world. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can hold their own in that middle, because you don't be wanting, your center to get blew back in your quarterback's lap. That's the thing about it. But in those situations, you tend to go with the veteran who know the whole line cost and know the audibles and all of that stuff, because you can't afford for a center to miss a play, because that's the quickest way to the center, up the center. Quickest way to the quarterback is up the center. So for the most part, they feel more comfortable with Graham Glasgow playing that position. So, I mean, I get it. I really do. And then you can just, slide them, next year slide them. But I'm more of a, hit the ground running. Might as well get your nicks and bumps out the way right now. But it was a lot of concern. He had never played center before, but he was, prepped to be a center at Georgia. In practices, he was prepped to be a center. And 6'7", how big he is, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a huge thing with, past centers with the Lions. They just wasn't as big and strong to play that position. And now you got a guy that's big and strong, to play that position. Frank Ragnow was, but, we'll see. But, we didn't understand why they took Ratledge. And now we understand, because we kind of understood. We kind of had an idea that Frank Ragnow had been, flirting with retirement, and he had some little injuries, last year too. So we just didn't know Ratledge had, was groomed to be a center at Georgia, and that's what made it baffling when they drafted him. But honestly, I think, I'm cool with it. Ragnow, guy, I think gave up maybe 1 sack in his college career. He transitioned to guard. And then his second year, I believe, or middle of his first year, I think it was the second year, he became the Lions starting center. So I don't really have an issue with it. But, we'll see when the pads come on. The pads are on, been on for a week or something, and who knows, he may pick it up and he may start to separate a little bit in Ratledge. So you got to learn the line audibles, the verbiage, the snap between him and Jared Goff being 6'7", a little bit different than 6'4" Ragnow and whatever and Glasgow is. So Glasgow is, he's been a center in Detroit before. I think before Jared Goff got there, I want to say. So, but he's been a center before, came back, played guard, and, obviously, there was another guy in that competition, Miles Frazier. He's already, started off injured. And it's Rackstraw, another guy that's injured. So I read that, Tim Patrick is kind of struggling a little bit at camp, which is not, not uncustomary for most veterans. Sometimes it take a little bit to prime that lawnmower up, to get them ready. So it don't really surprise me none. But yeah, I can dig it. So right now, Graham Glasgow is back being your starting center. And that's a concern losing Ragnow for a lot of people. I'm more concerned about the shift in line, but they've been prepared for it, whether it was drafted Ratledge, Frazier, the Manu guy, Source. There was a number of guys that they've drafted to be prepared to turn over the offensive line because you can't pay everybody. Jonah Jackson. Taylor Decker is going to be out of here pretty, at some point, sooner than later. So, yes, you have to prepare for those things to happen. So they starting to get guys reps, develop guys, get guys stronger to turn over that line. So they always constantly investing into the offensive line, as you should. But am I, surprised that that Ratledge didn't, stay at center? Nah, because I knew Glasgow played the position here before. He's played it in his past. So, but at the end of the day, he may battle back and get that position back. We don't know. He might get that position back. So who knows? But I have no issue with it because one wrong line audible, one missed blocking assignment, that could be the end of Jared Goff. So it's a very, very important position to play. So yeah, it's not like left tackle is very, very important if your quarterback is a right-handed quarterback. You miss that blocking assignment. Say at left tackle, your quarterback can be carried off on a goddamn stretcher. That's the crazy shit about it. At center, the same thing. The difference is why left tackle for quarterback is a little bit more vital than that is because the reason why it's a little bit more vital is because if you miss an assignment as a center, the quarterback can see the punishment coming for the most part. He can see the punishment coming. On that blind side, boy, if he haven't got no feel, your quarterback is going to need Blue Cross and Blue Shield. So that's the difference. But other than that, I definitely understand the decision. That's one of those positions where you probably don't want your quarterback or your rookie, taking off and running with it. So, but yeah, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video financially. Want to support the channel? Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Appreciate the love and support. Hit the link tree and follow me everywhere, all my channels and platforms. Peace.